I wanted to talk about vices, like the thing that we do. For those that don't know what it is, it's like the one thing that you'll do consistently, like smoking cigarettes, drinking, whatever, and how like damaging those things can actually be if you don't keep them at bay or in check. And I figured I'd just share like my story with it and kind of how I've changed the way I've approached vices. So for myself, I used to drink quite a bit. Like every weekend I needed to drink or smoke a cigar. Like that was a big thing for me. And I would always sort of justify it by saying like, I worked so hard, I did whatever, so therefore I deserve to drink, smoke, whatever it is. And like that practice led to me feeling so crap. I really just got into like this destructive, vicious circle of aiming for the weekend so that way I could drink and smoke. And then when the week would come, I was tired, lazy, not wanting to do anything. And then Friday comes, I'm excited, ready to drink and smoke. So it was like this, again, vicious cycle that I had to overcome. And the only reason I ever actually like woke up from it was because I had like a month where I didn't drink or smoke. And then when I actually did do it, I had this big like reaction or side effect when I did do it. It was like that month that I didn't drink, I felt calm. I was so focused. I was energized. I was motivated. I was doing a bunch of different things. And then the moment I drank, everything went in reverse. Like the week after, I was just like recovering. And I remember that next Friday that came up, I just forced myself not to drink. I basically just stopped myself and said, no, I'm not drinking this weekend. And then I pushed that for another month. And the same thing happened. Like I felt very, very good. And I was extremely productive, hyper focused, ready to do whatever. I decided, let me reward myself. And I drank and smoked. And then I fell right back into the trap of that week after. I didn't want to do anything. I was so lazy. I felt down on myself. I was like depressed and feeling terrible about everything. So I had this like awakening saying, okay, I'm gonna try to do this for like 2 months. Let me see what happens. Sure enough, the 2 months I was like the most productive I've ever been. I kind of like pushed myself to do a bunch of things. I got like my master's. I was doing a bunch of different other things. I was leveling up, if you want to put it that way. And then I drank again to reward myself again. And again, I had that same week after where I just felt so off. So I started connecting the dots that this like vice that I had where it was like a reward was actually damaging me. And I was destroying any progress I was making because that week following, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to touch anything. I was miserable at work. Everything felt off. So I decided then and there, I'm going to just stop. And since then, like I drink very, very, very occasionally. Like it is far and few between when I actually decide to drink. And I've noticed because I've pushed it so far away from one another that each time I've drank that week after, I don't get those same feelings. Like I don't feel depressed. I don't feel lethargic, lazy, any of that. I'm actually able to manage my behavior and my emotions way better than when I was drinking. And I know this isn't a problem that like is just affecting me, which is why I wanted to kind of share my side or my story, because I do have people in my life that do continue to drink and then do run into this vicious circle of feeling down and everything. So I figured I'd share my side and kind of showcase the positives of like when you decide to stop. A lot of good things just started happening. Like I started doing far better at work. I got promoted pretty quickly. I was a lot more focused and efficient at what I was doing. And it all came from just controlling my vices. I did have like side effects, right? Like it wasn't all like that quick of a turnaround, right? Because I would have moments where I want to drink. I would have moments where I would do whatever. And it was this mental battle of just telling myself like, no, you're not drinking. No, you're not doing all this other stuff. Like I just want to be focused. And when I drink, I'm not. So it was a battle mentally to tell myself I'm not doing that. And I don't know. I reaped the benefits from it. And I figured it's worth sort of sharing that you can have a better outcome at life if you do cut out certain things that are poisoning your progress. I know that like for me also, I've also worked on it where I supplemented my vice with something else. Like for me, a big thing was at the end of the week, opening some bottle of liquor and then pouring a glass, whatever. So I literally would replace that with something else. Like I got like hyper addicted to sparkling waters. Like the feeling of cracking open a can of sparkling water would take off the edge. And there's some psychology behind it. I was like looking up multiple things because I was wondering why I feel like relaxed when I'm drinking it. And then any other little like thing that you can replace, like say exercise, right? A lot of people that have been addicted to certain things tend to veer away from the addiction and then just jump right into exercise and get sort of addicted to exercise. It's the same thing with vices. Like if you replace it with something else, you can turn that thing into the vice, the new vice that will get you past this craving that you're itching for. And yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool what I kind of went through, and I wanted to share it because I was talking with a couple of friends of mine and they were dealing with the same sort of issue of feeling depressed and stuff. And I figured maybe there's other people out there that are, struggling and don't know maybe the right path or steps, and hopefully this helps. But that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about this week. If you guys like it, please consider subscribing.